Right, I am live, I think. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Just have to wait for everybody else to get back now. If anybody's watching this after the live, I do apologise. My OBS just crashed again. Yolandi's here. Hello, Yolandi. Right, let's see if we can get everybody else back. Hubris is here. Hello, Hubris. Okay. Sorry about that. I need to actually... I downloaded, was it StreamYard? No, it wasn't StreamYard. I forgot the name of it now. Hold on, I'll tell you now. Streamlabs. It's the only one I could find that would give me all of my little widgets and whatnot. Richard's here. Hello, Richard. Let me just pull this over here. Yeah, but I haven't had time to test Streamlabs yet and just make sure it works properly. But I'm going to have to this week because OBS just crashes the whole bloody time. Oops, that wasn't meant to happen. Let's do that. There we go. And Arena's here. Hello. John H. Hello. It happens. Always no problem. Ah, thank you. Yeah, all that stuff. Right. I just want to. I'm trying to remember who asked a question about the crossroad. Oh, Hecate. Who asked a question about Hecate now? I need them to come back. Not being able to connect with Hecate and creating a artificial crossroads, basically. That's when it crashed, obviously. Can't hear the music. Oh, hold on. What was it doing? Oh. Oops, no, that was wrong. We need that one. There you go, Depeche Mode. Kerry's here. Hello, Kerry. I'm just waiting for everybody else to pop back on. He sits up properly like a good human being. Oh. Okay. Oh, we've got Rammstein again. Hopefully it's not Snow White spanking people. Let's go to this screen. I can see who is coming on. 8 people in. Okay. Whoever asked about Hecate not being able to connect, and I was explaining the crossroads. Just give me a shout so I know you're here, and then I will start again. That was quite a good chat. Richard, brilliant song from Rammstein. YouTube seems to be slow as well. Everything's all good. It's working properly. Anyway, sure we'll get through it. Fat Muppet. I want to connect to Astroth. Any tips? just do it the way we do it with all of them. Sit down, gaze at the sigil, chant the N, give offerings, build a relationship. You know, and you might find that when I connected with Astaroth, it was specifically to find out if Astaroth was the same as Astarte. So I got some particular instructions regarding that. But Astaroth became quite a different, almost like a titan almost. Like this really tall, giant female warrior, very Greek actually. Not sure where that came from. But yeah, it's the same with all of their spirits. Just build a relationship, and that involves talking to them. Getting to know them. John H. got a question. I have just hoping the person who comes back with the Hecate question comes back and doesn't think I'm ignoring them. So if you are here, just let me know. Got a question. I have finally gotten to the point where I can sense energy after invocation of the planets. Oh, cool, nice. Is there any value in bringing in the energy and then releasing it without a task? Yeah, you can do that, because you kind of you can balance yourself with the energies. This, I find personally, gets tied in very closely with the Kabbalistic aspect of opening the gates to the Sephirot. I always forget which is the plural. And I kind of do that in an elementary aspect, planetary aspect, where I open the gate and let the energy come in, and you start to resonate at that particular frequency. So your own personality, you change. Like if you pulled the energy of Venus in, you probably become very loving, maybe. People would kind of see you as beautiful, as always pleasant. Whereas if you then switch to Mars, all of a sudden you would become very abrasive, and people might not like you so much. They would see you as kind of, you kind of meet people, and they would immediately think that you're going to have a fight with them. So, it's when you are doing the exercises and the practices, it's about feeling that energy, sensing the difference of the different planets, how it feels, what you can do with that, and then once you know that, you can apply that to specific spell working and magic. So yeah, there's a great value in it. And also, just coming back to the elementary or elemental balancing stuff, you can do the same thing with planets. If you are feeling particularly timid, maybe, if you need courage, then you can call on Mars, and get that courage and that warlike aspect to you. So yeah, it's all about becoming something, resonating at the same frequency, whether it's planets, elements, spirits, whatever it may be. Yolandi, I can't remember if this was asked, but what happens if you want to work with an entity but they don't want to work with you? You don't work with them. So it really, it's kind of as simple as that. Because, it's a bit like going to your neighbor and saying, hi, do you want to go out for coffee? And they don't like you, so they kind of go no. And you're not going to go out for coffee with them. If you, I actually find this a lot. A lot of people kind of think that all the spirits would want to work with them because they are spirits, but it's not the case. And it might not even be that they, this idea of they don't want to work with you can be. It could be the possibility that you cannot work with them because your energies don't gel. You would clash energetically with them, and therefore you just can't have their energy close to you. It could be that you do need to work with them, but now's not the time. So it could be in like 5 or 10 years time from now. So there's a variety of reasons why Spirit wouldn't want to work with you, and quite often they kind of like, you know, they don't have the same egos that we do, and therefore you kind of say to them, I want to work with you, how do you feel about that? And they go, no, bye, have a nice day. Yeah, that's kind of it. They don't often give you a bloody reason. But yeah, no, if you want to work with the Spirit, they don't want to work with you, you're not going to work with them. That's really the simple answer. Hubris, going out to the crossroads to leave offering can get pretty unnerving, like when the coyotes are singing, but the connection definitely feels strong. Oh yeah, I'm sure it would. Yeah, that would be quite cool with the coyotes singing. Terrifying, but cool. Andrea, Lee, I thought my computer was supposed... No, sorry, OBS just crashed again. I'm going to have to switch to... Try Streamlabs and see if that works better. It's been behaving itself for the past week or so, and I thought it would be okay, but... Richard, you need to read the lyrics to Engel from Rammstein. Okay, I'll try. I'm not going to do it now. Jono's here. Hello, Jono. Caught you by mistake. Glad to catch you. Hope everyone is coping with this chaos energy. Yeah, I think kind of coping. Yeah, it's actually interesting you caught me because this isn't the original live actually. Kerry Lee, have you ever looked into numerology? Looked into it. Not really something that's vibes with me. But again, it's, you know, it's kind of down the road of divinatory techniques and just not a diviner. Not for me at all. I think people hear that and they kind of go, what? You're a witch? Yeah, oh, well. Okay, I'm just going to say it again before I go on to the next question. The person who asked about Hecate mentioning that they just cannot connect with them, just let me know if you're here or not, because I was right in the middle of answering that when OBS crashed. GS, hello. I was visited by an entity in a dream roughly 10 years ago who revealed itself as Ballyboss. I just learned this morning it was actually Eligos. Okay. Watching your video on him now and seeing you live. Oh, good stuff. Glad you caught us. The part 2 of the live. Yeah. Let's just check on Eligos. I don't work with all of these spirits. Oops. I don't think I've got it in Liber Daemon yet. Still going to come back to Liber Daemon, and I'm just over halfway of all of the transcribing all of the Goetia spirits. Appeareth in the form of good knight, carrying a lance, he discovereth hidden things, and knoweth things to come, and of wars, and how the soldiers will or shall meet. He causeth the love of lords and great persons. That could be quite handy. Also called Abigail. Yeah, the Red Book of Epping can get a bit on the dark side. Not a lot about Eligos actually. Sorry about that. Not sure how useful it's going to be. Yolandi, different witches have different paths, but not everyone knows that. Yeah, no. It's just, you know, one of those things that people kind of expect. You know, you're supposed to read tarot, you're supposed to, I can, you know, been through it, I can sort of do it, but I'm no good at it. I'm better at raising energy. Throwing energy balls around. This is why we always say, you know, it's why it's a bit like you you wouldn't call an electrician to fix your plumbing, and you wouldn't call a plumber to fix your electrical stuff in your house, because they have their own skills. And call them both, put them both together, and they do an amazing job. Same thing with which is we all have our particular skills. Put us all together and we can achieve incredible things. GS felt a pressure in my chest and awoke to his glowing orange eyes peering deep into mine. He appeared as a cat, roughly the size of a bobcat, with dark purple and black fur with glowing veins of ember. Cool. Yeah, moving throughout his fur. Very cool. Nice visualization, as long as it wasn't too terrifying. Jono, someone here wants to meet Hecate. That's cool. I've got huge respect for her. Uncle, have you mentioned that people shouldn't get engaged with her unless they're serious? I haven't, no. The person actually said that they've been working with her for a year and all of a sudden having difficulty connecting and just asking for advice on how to do that. But I mean, your mention of people shouldn't get engaged with her unless they're serious, that goes for any spirit. If you're not serious, don't, kind of like call up a spirit and go, hi, I just wanted to say hi, and do you want to go for a beer? That's going to be, not a good thing. Kerry, I asked, as I've been drawn to Chaos Magic number 8 all of my life. Chaos Magic number 8? What's Chaos Magic number 8? Apart from the 8 points of the Chaos Sphere. All of my life, and just figured out that it's one of my numbers. I believe my life path number. Okay. Yeah. GS, we communicated not by words, but by intent and action. He offered me 2 sacrifices to secure a deal, to which I declined out of fear. Okay, well, that's fine. You can do that. And you're probably not going to have words anyway. Not spoken words. That would not be an entity. That would probably be an astral parasite if that did happen. So yeah, you do get communication through intent, actions, thoughts, feelings, images and things like that. But you are well within your rights to decline. These spirits come along and you also get to decide. And there should not be any fear-mongering amongst it. If there is, then just start questioning the spirit, because there's something wrong there. Mimolek, do you think that Boone would accept also energy? Like that excess energy I had to... Yeah. I think all the spirits would be quite happy with excess energy. They can take it and they can transform it into whatever they want to, really. So we can as well. But I wouldn't see why not. Right, 14 people on. Still don't know if the person who asked about Hecate is here. Just announcing again in case you've just joined. I hope you don't think I ignored you. Sorry about that. Maybe I'll talk about that just now anyway, because it's an interesting topic. Creating a crossroads. GS, I've never researched it or tried to summon it. It was a random encounter and I've been obsessed. These things can happen sometimes, where you have a spirit kind of just pop up. I think we all, if we all are going in that direction, whether we kind of consciously realize it or not, it's going to happen at some stage. For some people, they may be a bit more sensitive to these things, and they have the experiences of seeing or feeling or whatever. But other people are not so sensitive, and they often kind of miss all of the signs and whatnot. It's kind of it could just be a call. You know, just grabbing your attention and saying, hey, you've got a gift. If you can see me, you've got a gift. And that's really the whole purpose for that particular spirit's visit. It was just to make you aware. It's quite an absolute possibility. So yeah, just take it from there. As I said, it might, if Eligos keeps coming back and wanting a connection, make sure you do your discernment, learn your discernment, go through all your foundational magical working, practice and training and everything else, and do all that stuff. You've got to do that anyway. But do your discernment and test the spirit and make sure that it is Eligos and not some astral parasite or an imposter. And you know, always test the spirits. But if he keeps coming back, then there's obviously another reason he would want to work with you, or he wants you to work with him. It might, you know, or it may just be, if it was just a once-off, it may just be that kind of like making you aware of something. Yolandi, I'm more interested in developing my intuition, divination, and my third eye for communicating and seeing spirits around us. Yeah, it's kind of all comes in together. I've said this before as well, you know, a lot of people kind of ask and talk about the idea of opening your third eye, and it's a concept. It's the same kind of concept as seeing or having the sight, or the second sight, or spirit vision, or something like that. It's a concept, so it's not about the third eye, the position. Sight or seeing is not about visually, psychically seeing, you know, just visually. It's about all the senses, feeling, everything with, you know, you may be clairvoyant or clairaudient or clairsentient or claircognizant or etc, etc, etc. And they're all, you know, whether it's taste, whether it's smell, whether it's vision, whether it's hearing, whether it's touch, whether it's just knowing, these are all aspects of the sight or seeing. And so when we talk about opening the third eye, it's the same concept. It's about becoming psychically aware with the senses. So it's not about, you know, just opening the third eye, and that's what people tend to focus on, is this idea that they have to open the third eye. And then what happens is they do all these exercises and practices which just focus on the third eye, and it's almost like kind of like exercising only your right arm, and it becomes this huge big muscular arm, and your left arm's kind of kind of thin and scrawny and whatnot. So you have this huge big third eye chakra, and the rest of the energy body's depleted. Because it's just been ignored, and that then causes problems and imbalances, and that's why I say it all like melds and mixes all together. So when we're talking about opening the third eye or gaining the sight or anything like that, it's about working the entire energy body, the entire system, so that all the energy is flowing properly. And you find that when you start looking into the chakra system, Kundalini Tantra, all of that stuff which is connected with the chakras itself, the throat actually becomes an incredibly important chakra for the psychic senses, not the third eye, the throat. So yeah, it's about working the whole system, but intuition is part of that as well. Yeah. Jono, I'd like your answer about taking stuff seriously. I've only met Hecate in passing. She was waiting for Luna's new moon ritual. I told her I'm not ready for her, and she agreed. Yeah, that sounds like Hecate. She was knocking on my door for several years, and I just ignored. I didn't want to work with Hecate. Wouldn't go away though. Eventually I caved and gave in. Glad I did. But yeah, Hecate is just a very interesting spirit, I must say. Kerry, I read that Agaras is known for friendship. Have you heard this? can't remember now. Let me have a look. If I have it anywhere over here. You can work on, Rufus Opus said he can work on office politics. So, yeah, it's kind of friendship in a manner, I suppose. Defeat enemies. Oh, my screen just flashed. I hope my bloody OBS isn't going to crash again. If it does, I'm going to say goodnight now, because I'm not going to come back on again. Yeah, no, I can't find anything about friendship here. So, no, I obviously haven't. These are all my notes that I found, so I can't say I have, no. As to the Friendship of Goras Association, it's in the Daemon Directory app for... Oh, that's is that the one that Conley created? Because there was a Goatia app as well, I think. Kerry, well, Jono said, Kerry, Uncle, you demonologers are so interesting. It's fascinating to learn about your practice. We are amazing people. What can we say? Yolandi, I already feel, hear, smell, and just need to work on bettering those senses and develop my sight. Yeah, then, I mean, if you've got those senses, then it shouldn't be, it's not like a huge leap to get to visualization. Just practice visualization. I mean, if you can visualize, you know, by that I mean, close your eyes and imagine an apple. And if you can't see the apple and you're not aphantasic, I'm not sure if that's the word, then, you know, just keep practicing the visualization exercises, and you can keep exercising the other senses at the same time. So if you're doing the visualization, you know, bite into the apple, you hear the crunch of the apple as you bite into it, you taste the apple, you know, so you've got the hear and the taste, and it also emits a smell when you bite into an apple, so you can smell the apple as well, which also ties in very closely with the sense of taste. So, you know, just keep exercising all of them, and the other ones will probably help the one you're trying to exercise. Memelek, have you ever had an experience of a whisper at night? I woke up at 3 AM a few weeks ago, no vampirism at the time, and I kind of was sitting up on bed and heard a name. Probably if you're waking up, they call it a hypnopompic state. We always talk about the hypnagogic or the hypnagogic state that we get into as we're falling asleep, which is like between sleep and waking. When you're waking up, it's called a hypnopompic state. I don't know why, because if you think of a psychopomp is a deity that takes the spirit or the dead across to the other side and, like, you know, walks them through to the afterlife. So I'm not sure why it's called a hypnopompic. What does pompic mean? Let's have a look. I know it's Greek. Pompic. No, I don't want pompous. I want pompic. Oh, here we go. Related to the state existing between sleep and full waking, characterized by giving me hypnopompic immediately. See also hypnagogic. Oh, oh no, that's hypno, which is Greek pomp. While I'm doing that, where was I now? Kerry said, I believe I was the one Connolly created. It was the one Connolly created. Oh, okay, yeah. I haven't actually tried that out. Yeah, maybe I should go have a look at that. Remember, like, I was looking for a certain answer at the time for a question. Oh, yeah, then maybe it was your Nefesh, lower self, actually giving you the answer then. I do find my Nefesh, or all the Nefeshes, kind of give answers when you're waking up. Let's see. Hypno. Did I spell that right? I think I did.